Good morning.
Where?
Good morning.
How the heck are you all?
Well, need I say, alive and kicking?
You should stop kicking people.
I haven't kicked anybody. They not got my way yet. So
Morning, Rob. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
can you hear me yet?
Yeah. Well, how is it that I can hear you? Because it shows that I should not be able to, unless that was Michael giving me a bad time.
That
Rob,
was me.
That's your brat. I'm going to kick you. That's what we're going to do. Hey, Rob, sweetie, you're muted. All right, we'll let Rob figure that out. Bree, who looks gorgeous this morning. Give me some good news, sunshine. Very nice.
I towel my hair off.
Ha! Wow. You're serious?
Yeah.
Wow, it looks fabulous on you.
Thank you.
You should.
Actually, offer.
Pardon me?
Actually looks fabulous.
Huh?
off of her.
Yes, exactly. It does look fabulous off of
Off
you.
of her. Right.
Are you donating that? Is that why you have it that way?
No, it was like a lot of hair because it was down my back.
Yeah, your hair was super long. Oh, we lost Bree. But you know, if your face is going to freeze, this is not a bad thing. We lost you for a second. Your hair was super long, honey, all the way down your back.
And I just told her to cut it.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Well, you look fabulous. That is such a brave thing. This is from the girl that I like never cut my, well, okay, I cut the crap out of the front, but I don't cut the back because it doesn't grow. And every time I go in, I'm like, no, don't touch my hair. But enough of hair. Give me some good real estate news.
I think I'm about to go under contract for some land. So that means I'll have 3 under contract. And I've got 2 listings coming up.
Woo-hoo. Nice.
Yay.
You have some record breaking right around the corner if you do this correctly. Like most under contract soon or most listings or something like that.
Yeah, 2 listings at the same time. And I have a rental listing.
Okay, so does that count as 3, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with 3.
I
All
think
right.
so.
Netta said yes.
Money's money. Money's money. It don't matter where it comes from.
True that. All right. Congratulations, Miss World Record Breaker. Nice job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Rob, what you got? Give me some good news.
Well, I sent out the 40 letters on a letter campaign to board investors and those with high equity. Kathy helped me address some of the envelopes at our CAR meeting with EXP broker meeting last week. And I sent those letters out 4 days ago, or whatever Monday was, 30, whatever, when we
I think
had
it
that
was
meeting.
yesterday.
It was
Whatever.
yesterday.
Whatever, the day that we had that meeting, so I don't know.
Maybe Saturday.
What have you slept since then? I mean, come
Yeah.
on, man.
But anyway, the letter, I expected it to pull, just not this quickly. So I got an actual phone call yesterday on my personal smart number.
Oh,
Which put
good.
the number in my CRM, which KV Core, which was kind of nice. Then I have to go in and edit it, of course. But hey, it's a beginning. So, and I had just got off the phone for the rest of you. I got off the phone with Gina this morning because the letter says, call me if you're interested and I'll give you a free property valuation report or a pre-property valuation. That's what it says. And so instead of making an appointment, I kind of got really excited and let them take control of the conversation. And I gave them the range that I had come up with after using RPR and doing a CMA. So I needed to talk that through and figure out, how to not lose control. So, but hey, the positive thing is, I'm off the bench now. I'm back in the game, trying to get back in the game and getting some positive results. So I'm excited.
Nice. Banana, what do you got for some good news?
You know what? I don't have any good news.
Yes, you do. There's something. Do not be Michael.
Okay. I can't give any right now because I put in 2 offers this weekend from the same client that I've been working with for now 2 months, and we lost 2 times. When we won a week ago, she didn't want that house, so we didn't get it. So now that makes like 6 losses. So I don't have any good news.
The good news is you put in 2 offers. So your
Yes.
buyer is writing. There you go.
And
We'll
we
leave it
also
at
have the
that.
client.
Hey,
Uh,
Vanetta,
Yep.
can you get some feedback from them as to why maybe the offers weren't selected?
Well, I know we were one of 7 and for one, and we were one of 18 for another.
Right.
Oh,
but
wow.
I thought maybe now that they've been accepted, you could maybe reach out to the agent and get a little more information.
These agents aren't responding these days. They send you an email and keep it
And
moving.
that's
Yep.
it. Okay.
As a matter of fact, at first they told us we had it. They said, oh, if you do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a little bit of the other, you all got it. So I talked to my client and we did exactly what they asked for. And the guy said, okay, great. We're going to jump right on and send it over promptly. I was excited. I've shown her now 40 properties. And then I was waiting, nothing. And then a couple of hours later, I called, and this wasn't a listing agent. He said, oh, he hasn't called you yet? Well, you know what? When I heard that, I was like, okay, this isn't good. And so I called the agent right away and said, hey, he sent me a text back, can't talk right now. So I called the guy back, the assistant. I said, do we have a deal or not? He said, oh, he's going to call you. He's going to call you in a few minutes. Nothing. About an hour later, I got an email. Thanks, but my client has decided to go with a different offer. There you go.
Yep. All right. So
Keep-
we're going to hold it at the good news part of you wrote 2 offers. And then we'll circle back around if you want more.
Well, you know the old saying, listing agents are liars.
Yeah.
No, I knew buyers are liars.
Those are liars
I
that
heard too.
the sellers are worse. That's the way I heard it.
Ah,
Buyers
That's-
are
that
liars and
reminds me-
sellers are yellers.
this reminds me so much of when, oh God, I just lost my train of thought and I lost it in mid-sentence.
Oh, my-
Whatever. Kathy, give us some good news.
Okay. Chad is official now.
I saw that.
Yes,
Woo-hoo.
part- He's on the team. Sarah Black joined to just listen in. So she's, I've got to follow up with her and see what she thought initially, since that
Oh, I
was the
was
first.
wondering whose that was.
Yep, she is an EXP agent already. In the Charlottesville area. She came to the car meeting and I've been chatting with her prior to that because she's unhappy. She wants more than she's getting. And is looking to a team, specifically to a team, to try to have that. So that's where that is. While we were on the call yesterday, somebody reached out to me on the phone and was messaging me because I had bought eggs from a neighbor and I left my business card with the money. So they knew who took money and eggs and whatever.
Oh, one of those like roadside things.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she reached out to me about, I'm not yet doing it, blah, blah, blah. I want to get some information. So first steps.
That's a cool thing. Okay, y'all, new lead generation format, buy eggs. Good deal. All right, Michael Ussery, give us some good news.
Hi. Listing went live 2 days ago, got 7 contracts.
Nice.
Going to a listing appointment tonight for a $500,000 property. Putting the contract together now. Is that
Nice.
enough? Is that enough?
That is good. What is your, what's the highest amount of either listings you've had at one time or in contracts you had at one time? Either one. I don't know what you count.
I don't know.
Okay, I was just curious.
Maybe 5 or 6. I don't know.
All right, so you're either there or over it already. Nice job.
My listings are gone within 3 to 7 days.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, everything is. That means just because you're pricing it correctly too.
Yeah, I've always been that way. Even back in when I started, they were always gone just a few days.
Yep. Nellie, what's some good news, sunshine?
I'm here. I have a new attitude now.
That is a good
I want
thing.
to sing that song now.
Yeah, that is a very good thing. All right, let's dig in then. What kinds of challenges have you guys got?
I have a challenge. So my buyer that's under contract is the niece of a lender I do work with.
Mhm.
And they had a particular property inspector they wanted to use. The property inspector is way out of his lane
Oh,
and told me the house had good bones and, you know, these are the things that need to be addressed. I said, we can negotiate that. I think the seller will do it. He pulled them to the side and said, it's a money pit.
oh my word.
But that's if we don't get these things done. And I think we will, and it's really not a money pit, you know, maybe $2,000 worth of work.
That's not bad
And
for your market price point at all. That's really
right. Yeah. And it's mainly the underneath that needs to be cleaned. The crawl space needs to be cleaned out, a couple windows replaced, you know, this, that, the other. But it's under $300,000.
holy moly. You're not going to get a perfect house. All right, guys, what kinds of advice do you guys have for her?
Kind of what?
For the property inspector pulled, said to Bree, everything's good. They just need a couple of repairs. Pulled the buyer aside, said it's a money pit, and property inspector has a relationship with buyer.
Oh, what kind of advice? Is that what you asked?
Yeah. Yeah. What would you
Like,
guys?
should I pull the property inspector aside? And,
Oh,
you know,
did you hear him say that?
no, he told my buyer that.
I think you
And
need
the
to
buyer
have,
told me,
Y'all are really nice. I'm not. I'd have had his ass up against the wall on the phone in a heartbeat, crawled him up one side or the other and threatened him with a lawsuit.
I think they need to be all together and talk together because that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
I'd have talked to my seller and then I'd tell my seller what I'm gonna do. And if they agree to it, I'd be all over his ass. And then I'd guarantee you, everybody that I talked to and would know about what he did.
right. And that was just like tip of the iceberg. Apparently he said more. And then and he told the mortgage lender this too. And she's like, oh, I guess he was outside of his lane. I was like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's
That's an ethics violation, I think,
Yeah,
for a home
yeah.
inspector.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd bring him to the state. Does he have to be state
Well,
licensed?
Yeah, I don't know that
Yeah.
I'd take it that far, but I would have a really nice, stern, treat him like a 5-year-old child conversation. I guarantee he wouldn't do it again.
I come to Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
you
he
don't
made
know-
recommendations. Like he was making recommendations on things. You know, I was like, that is not your role.
well, his job is to show everything that's there. He's hired by the buyer.
Mhm.
I used to do the inspections. He's hired by the buyer, and his job is to show everything about the property, good, bad, or indifference. And if there's any questions, he needs to note it to cover his butt for legality, legal issues.
Right.
So if
Right.
there's something in a plug or whatever, it's so this plug looks not working, needs to be checked out by a licensed electrician contractor. But to go to you or whoever he went to and say, oh, everything's great, no problem, then go over there and say that's defamation. I don't know what term to call it, but to me, that's an issue to where you're telling me one thing and lying to me and going over here and telling something else. Don't lie to me. Tell me the
Right.
way it is.
Yeah, I
Because
think-
then I can't give, I'm like, how do I give my objective professional statement?
To who?
You know, like,
Mhm.
think
How do I do
Melanie
my
wants to say
job?
something.
Who do you want to give your opinion to?
Hey, Bree.
To who?
yeah,
Hey, Bree, was it a void? Was it a repair or void? situation?
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm sorry, was it,
Pass or
As
fail?
is.
is it a contingency? Is the home inspection a contingency?
Yes,
Okay, so you
but
have,
he's not allowing me to present it to like before he's jumping in. Before we can negotiate the repairs, he's telling them,
it's a money pit.
right.
It was
Well-
all wrong. Did you talk to the lender about his behavior?
I did.
Ooh, cause he just wrong.
Well,
Yeah.
first off, the lender has nothing to do with him. That is the buyer's, he's representing the
Buyer
buyer.
and lender are related. It's aunt and niece. That's why.
Oh, that's a conflict of interest.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's an ethical issue right there.
Absolutely.
And then to run his mouth.
What you got, Nellie?
Well, besides all that ethical stuff that is wrong, can't we, as the realtor, the one that's advising him, saying, okay, let's just prove him, basically, let's put the facts on paper. We'll go get appraisals for all the things that needs to be fixed and all the numbers, and you'll see for a fact that it's not a money pit. Can we do
Yeah.
that?
And so that's a good idea. So we're, because he's not the professional, like, that's a
Very
good
good.
idea. But I'm going to talk to the seller.
Mm.
About the repairs. And I have a good feeling from him that for an inspection contingency, for so many homes in Nashville go without an inspection contingency. So the fact that he accepted our contract with an inspection contingency, and he's the one, the seller is also the agent.
Okay. Does buyer want the house anyway?
Yes.
Okay, then if buyer wants the house anyway, I would go through and negotiate whatever I could between buyer and seller. But I would let buyer know that what inspector did is not okay at all. And that you will be contacting Mr. Inspector and let him know that their job is to point out what is wrong with the property and what is decent with the property. Their job is not to make an opinion like it's a money pit. If it is, then that is the opinion that goes to both agent and buyer. That opinion.
Right. He didn't tell and when they first told me that the word money pit was used, I was like, I didn't hear that. I was like, are they inferring that? They're like, no, he said that. And the fact that like what you were saying, he said it not to, like to me, he said, oh, it's got good bones.
A good inspector worth their salt knows better than even their job is to point out everything that's wrong. They're also, I feel their job is to go, look, this is wrong. It's probably minor. It's probably just a little tiny thing. It's wrong. And I need to point out, and your buyer needs to be prepped ahead of time of, this is their job. They're going to find things wrong with the house. There's no house that's perfect. It's just what their job is. We look at health and safety. And that's the things that we look at. And that's what we will be addressing between, who's going to be working on health and safety issues. But if Mr. Inspector's trying to kill a deal, I'm going to chew his butt up one second. I'm seriously going to have a come to Jesus with him also. Not okay. And just like Michael said, I'm going to make sure that the world that I operate in knows that this person is a deal killer. Not okay. Michael,
Can I
hands up.
Why are you doing repairs as a seller?
She's not the seller. She's the buyer.
I'm not the seller, I'm the buyer.
Oh, okay. And you're requesting repairs?
Yes.
In your market, do people do repairs?
Well, in our market, they typically don't even accept an offer that has an inspection contingency.
Right.
And the fact that he did
With the price point too.
at under $300,000. And so,
Is this a modular or mobile home?
it's a single family home
It's
Just
a,
built.
okay.
Just built.
with half an acre of land, fenced in.
And the seller's an agent. Is he a good agent?
He seems like a pretty good agent. Like he's
No,
been really
like, look at his
responsive.
numbers.
Oh, I'll look at his numbers.
Yeah.
He has a team.
Oh, That's,
But I'll look at his numbers.
Mike, your hand's back up again, Michael.
What?
Oh, your
Alright.
hand is up.
I said your hand is back up again.
On the
Order.
computer?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, on the computer.
Here, I can put
Bonetta's
your
got
hand
a thumbs up.
down. There you go.
Oh, I
All
was trying,
right, Bonetta. Bonetta, your hand's up, honey.
I was trying to put my hand up because I remembered some good news.
Well, how do you do
Oh,
that?
good.
Yay.
So on Saturday, I had two buyers meetings, Zoom meetings online with two people that did not attend my seminar that I called anyway to see if they were still, because, you know, they might have missed it.
Oh,
Something happened last
right.
night. And so I called them and they said, yes, both of them said, we want to buy in 3 to 6 months. So I had Zoom meetings with them and they went very
Oh,
well.
good.
Nice. Very
That's
good.
really good news.
Yeah, congratulations. I knew there was some good news in there.
I just couldn't get there, you know. I'm
There's
just so bummed
always good
about
news
the
in
other
there.
one. I was just bummed out about the other. Sorry, guys. You know, you don't remember the good news. You remember the stuff that makes you crazy. So
There's a ratio, a 5-to-2 ratio. Do you guys know about this?
no.
80-20
Yeah.
rule?
Basically, in relationship of any sort, marriage, friendship, business, things going on in your life, that kind of thing. For every 5 good things that, let's use marriage, for example, for every 5 good things that you tell your spouse, you're handsome, I love you, you're a great provider, you're a good man, I like the way you, I don't know, do dishes, who knows, whatever. If you, it's a 5-to-1 ratio. If you say one negative thing, they don't feel, but I'm mad at you for bleh, whatever. You didn't take out the garbage. Who cares? Whatever. You don't remember these 5 things because it's a 5-to-1 ratio. You're wiped out and you're pretty much at 0. But if it's 6 cool things and 1 bad thing, you feel positive on the one, like a 1%, what is that?
Oh,
2%. It's a 5-to-1 ratio. So that's why we can have 2 good things happen to us and 1 bad. And we're going to remember the bad thing, if we allow it to, will fill us up in our brain. And that's why I always want to start this with whatever the good thing is, because there's something good out there. And it gets our brain starting to focus in on that. And what you focus on expands, and what you expect happens. So good job, Bonetta.
So I got one more good news.
See?
You have to fill it with 6 more
So-
good news.
So my nephew is getting married on Friday in Connecticut. So we're going to the wedding and I'm excited about that. I haven't seen my nephew in a while.
That is very, very, very cool. Very cool. In a few weeks, oh, nope, a little over a month, actually, I'm going to Washington State. My darling daughter-in-law, who was told she could never have babies, is having her baby shower. So I'm
oh.
doing something to get up there. Yeah, it's very cute. And
What is she having? Boy, girl?
a little
Or
boy.
Gina?
So they already have, my son has a son from a prior relationship. So there'll be 2 boys, 3 boys if you count my son. There's a lot of testosterone in that family. A lot. So anyway, all
It's
right.
a good thing you're a strong woman.
And she is too. She's perfect. So, all right, guys, what other kinds of news do you have? Or what other kinds of challenges have you guys got? Whoa, sorry.
Okay,
Pray. We'll
can I
pray.
read something to you?
Sure.
Okay, I just started a conversation again yesterday about a lending opportunity. And I said, yes, I have funds. I want to know details, right? Including what are the guarantees. And I knew it was probably something pretty simple and straightforward just based on the initial thing. So here's her response, just got it a second ago. It'd say, okay, so it's a house I'm renovating. We waited long for permits and had to do more repairs than expected, so some of the funds got depleted. What we are requested will be reimbursed by the hard money lender upon completion. We have another 50K left to receive, so the loan reimbursement is not dependent on refi. It'll be a STR. I don't know what that acronym stands for.
Short-term rental. Short-term
Okay.
rental.
Okay, thank you. And it says also offering notarized personal guarantee for the loan. So that's what she's told me so far. All she's asking for is 25,000 and straight 15% on the monies for 4 months. That's what she's asking for. Input? Anyone?
Is this
I'm
for
lost.
a project that you want to do, Kathy?
No, it's somebody that I know that's a investor and does renovations, not in the area, not in my area.
Have they done this before?
Yeah.
Okay, and how's it turned out before? Like, what's their track? What's their history?
I think it's turned out all right. I don't know specifically all the details. I'd have to go back and look and see what I can find out. But just based on the fact that it's guaranteed by the hard money lender, sort of, you know, sort of makes it okay, in my opinion.
I don't have enough knowledge to advise you at all.
Oh, no, there's not much information here, so that's why I asked what y'all's thoughts might be.
Personally, I'd run it in front of Gary because my only input would be, I want to know, the notarized guarantee for it, fine. What are the collection laws in my state? Like in Washington state, if I take you to court in a small claims court, I still have to, and I think underneath 20K is small claims, and I could be wrong on that, but I still have to collect. Even if I win the judgment, I still have to collect. So I would not hard money loan in Washington state. Basically, for me personally, I would do it in a better state. But then I would also look at their history to see, and that was the first question, have they done this before? And then how do I know that it's guaranteed by the hard money lender? What do I have for that shows that proof? That's all I know. And I don't know enough about hard money lending. I want to move into it. I like the concept of it a lot. I set up a whole life insurance policy to be able to do that. And I think it's going to be a big thing at some point here. So
they get all the guarantees. The hard money lenders do.
Yeah.
That I've worked with anyway.
The guys I've worked with back in the 90s, they're both dead now.
What'd you do to them?
And I had that effect on people. They loaned me the money, and they were attached to the title. Is how they got their gain. Now this is just residential. I did. They were attached to the title. So I bought the house. When I bought the house, I quit claim to them and put them on the title with me. And then when we went to sell it at closing, we removed their name at closing, signed the papers, and transferred it to who I sold it to. But that was how the attorneys and accountants set everything up for us. So I'm not sure if that's the same thing today or not. So that's how he got guaranteed. But we were only talking $40,000 to $80,000 back in the early 90s.
Yeah, and this is even less than that.
Right. I would get a call in with Gary just really quickly, and then if it looks, you feel like it, run it. But that's good, Michael. Run them in on title that way. I'm trying to think of when we had a hard money loan our house, and it was in his name. Everything was in his name, and then we had to turn around, pay him off, and record the deed, and put it in our name.
Yeah, there's a few different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the hard money lender definitely is usually on the deed some way or another.
Right.
Whether it's totally in the name or not, they're usually there.
Now, I didn't do this, but one of the things the attorney we had talked about not long ago, because I was thinking of doing it again. So what they did is they set up a company, and the investor will go on to the percentage of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Each investor has a company with who attached to it, and let's say they put in 50%, they get 50% of that company, and the company buys the property. So legally that gives them, now the attorney said that was a whole lot more paperwork than just buying it and putting people's names on it. That gave protection and all. So I honestly, it would be like you say, go to Gary and then go to an attorney. Yeah,
because it sounds like he was establishing a separate LLC for that property, and and you
Yeah.
had two members, and the hard money lender was a percentage ownership member, depending on how much of the value he gave. But yeah, that would be a lot of paperwork to add a member to an LLC and then subsequently remove them.
Yeah.
Well, no, they
Attorneys
made,
love it, I'm sure.
they make an LLC and then that LLC stays and that's where they do their business out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and a lot of investors will do an LLC for each in particular property.
Yes, that's,
Mm.
Simple ones, yeah. You'll see that.
Yeah, so it's kind of ties into what was going on last night. It's not
Are you-
quite a syndication because there's not that many. Well, I don't know that. I shouldn't say that. It doesn't seem like it's a syndication because there's not that many people involved, but it could be, I suppose. Depends, with just it being a short-term rental, I wouldn't expect that it would be. It's just a house.
Right.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
it depends on where you're at. I mean, you can do a I know short-term rentals in Destin, Florida that are well over $2 million.
Well, yeah, but and
So
I like
it all
that.
depends
I like
on-
that area a lot.
on the location and everything else. So to just arbitrarily attach, a short-term rental to something that's not valuable is probably not an accurate statement.
That's true. There's short-term rentals on Outer Banks also that
Oh yeah,
know how much those cost. I just know how much it costs to rent.
Yeah, like
$1,000 a week.
5,000 a week.
Yeah, we rented one 14 bedrooms for $3,000 a week off season, and that was in 2012 maybe.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
crazy stuff.
yep. It was kind of cool. We our 3 offices rented it. We did our ALC retreat with all 3 offices in there. So all the ALC was in there for 2 or 3 days. We had maid service come in. We invited everybody's families who wanted to. So they stayed in for another 2, 3 days, whatever. And then leadership took it for the last 2 days. So I had maids come in again and then leadership took it for the last 2 days. So it was really fun. And we definitely got our $3,000 out of it.
Right,
But anyway,
right.
that's another story.
Anyway,
All right, y'all. So yeah, I guess the consensus is call Gary. Okay, you guys, thank you again for a fabulous morning and go sell a house. And I'm so excited. We got Brianna and Michael who are like busting through their former records. So congratulations, you guys. Truly, truly.
Thank you.
I don't know if I got a record or not.
Okay, work harder. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
bye.